Well,
I don't want y'all.
let's get
I
into
don't.
that. Let's get into
Yes,
that actually,
I
as
still
far as
play it.
NCAA.
I still play it. You see it on the screen, right? I'm still
bro.
playing it
It's
now.
the best game. It's the best game.
I'm
It
Okay,
playing it
is.
now.
well, break it down. Break it down to me. And Shake, do you play NCAA?
No,
Okay,
I
so
used
break
to. I used
so
to,
so give us the
but
breakdown of
I
NCAA
just
for
want
dummies.
to, I just want to make one point real quick as far as Madden. Um, for a while, wrestling, wrestling has been boring after WCW left because at the end of the day, after WCW died, Vince McMahon didn't have any competition. So at the end of the day, it's either this or you don't watch wrestling, which I chose not to watch wrestling anymore. And I think that's what's going on with Madden. Madden, there's no real competition. There's nothing to make them say, "Hey, we need to up our game." It's either this or you don't play football. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
Well,
feel about Madden.
It's well.
they
That
will. They got no
that's
choice now because that NFL 2K that's going to come out, and that game is going to be better than Madden, and
well.
it's going to be an arcade game.
Exactly. Now because EA, and this is where the whole thing fell apart. The NFL decided to sign an exclusivity deal with EA. So EA is the only company that can make a simulation football game. Meanwhile, all EA and the Madden team come out with are these half arcade, half simulation games. Because why? They're trying to run up that MUT money.
Hmm.
That's their whole game plan is everything is about filtering the work to MUT because MUT is online gambling. It is literally online gambling with these with the way they are giving people these free packs, giving people these free cards, but you can't really compete unless you have the best players, and you never get the best players in the randomized packs, so you got to
Remember
pay
when
for
Madden
them.
cards
So
were just collectible?
it's online gambling. They should be in court. They should be thrown in jail. But but back to the original point of NCAA 14 and how it is a superior game to Madden.
Hold
Number
on,
one,
break down NCAA, the history of NCAA football games in general, because
sure.
I remember it vividly. Plus, Banks, you cheated me, man, because as soon as I sent you that NCAA 14 copy, I looked online to see what the worth it was for. It was talking about $400.
Oh yeah.
So.
It is. It is still to this day. It is still to this day recognized as one of the best sports games ever, and clearly the pinnacle of football video games. I would say, and it's for a number of reasons. One, their dynasty mode, as you would call it, is probably still to this day the most comprehensive dynasty mode you will find in any football game. I think the only thing that really matches up with it is MLB The Show and how they run their dynasty mode. Uh,
Well,
but that's one.
well, the college 2K, the college NBA 2K series had pretty robust franchise system.
It was really good too. They ended that. They ended that a long time ago
Or
though.
MVP baseball 2005 with Manny Ramirez on the front cover. That had a really good franchise mode too.
Sure, even some of the earlier Maddens
Mm-hmm.
had great franchise modes.
Or Madden
Uh, but
05, Madden 04 with the Mike
but
Bruno
that
show.
NCAA really signified kind of when the decline started,
Mm-hmm.
and when it became very clear they were being more obsessed with money than making a good game. That's at that point. I think that's when EA realized all we gotta do is print up a game every year, and people are gonna buy it no matter what. And
Well,
they've been
remember how we got there too. Remember, I remember
the
that year.
exclusivity deal is
Right.
essentially what happened,
I
and
remember that year
2K couldn't
very
make football
well.
games anymore.
Yeah, they made. I remember that year very well because Madden 05 had just NFL 2K5 had released right before Madden every year,
Hmm.
and NFL 2K was picking up some steam
At a
in
lower
terms of
price too.
right at a weight. Remember, the game was only $20,
Exactly.
so their big thing was, oh, okay, we're going to make a better game at a lesser price. I think maybe
Hmm.
half price of it because Madden was what $40 or $50 at that
It
time,
was more than half the price.
right? Or we're going to make a better game and charge you less money for it.
Mhm.
So
And they did it.
My favorite thing about 2K was when they did the first person viewer, where you could
mm,
look at the eyes of the quarterback.
mm,
Yeah, I remember that. But that's kind of what we're talking about is they were consistently innovating the game. They're adding little wrinkles and like you said, the first person quarterback cam, passing cones, the hit stick. Hit stick wasn't always in Madden.
No,
That was an addition to the franchise. They kept innovating the form, but what we've seen now is they're sitting on that exclusive contract and they just giving y'all the same game year after year, over and over and over again. And that's the
hit
place
stick.
that's the place Madden is right now. They don't have any competition and they're not self-motivating. So they're
Yeah,
just gonna sit
2K.
on it.
2K did. Oh, not only did 2K do the hit stick, they also did the truck button with the running back, where you could truck
Mm.
somebody.
Nah, 2K didn't have his stick.
I know they had the truck button.
They had that where you hold the A button and then you press it, and then
Yeah.
like a power move
And you
or
could
something
truck.
like
And you could truck the truck
On the
button. You could
offensive
truck.
side, they had the truck,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But they didn't quite have. But I mean, I'm sure if they kept going on with the game, in my opinion, the 2K game would be far superior to what Madden is right now. If
that. Absolutely.
they,
Actually,
they
it
You
had
was
have to
not,
be
ES2. It
alive.
was ES.
yeah, it's it's just like it's just a sad state of affairs because clearly for a sport that is the number one sport in America to have the worst game amongst all professional sports leagues in this country, it's a sad state of affairs.
The one thing I did like about NCAA though was you could create a player and then have and draft him on your team in Madden.
That's another thing. I remember that too. You could
Don't
export
forget that was
the
called
draft
Road to
class.
Glory. It was Road to Glory mode. That's what it was called. Where you,
Yeah.
in
I
the
mean, I
earlier
remember.
versions of it, you would actually create the player. They would give you a dorm room and all this stuff. You would have to
Hmm.
study, take these tests. See, I don't know what DeVore was talking about earlier when he said this game was overrated or something like that. I have no idea what he
Let me
meant
let
by
me
that.
let me let me let me explain this to you because
Yeah.
this is what I got out of this announcement. It was all right. So we got to figure out how we're going to continue to keep the video game football community on the EA side. So let's go ahead and make an announcement and reboot NCAA football to suck y'all into that trap. So to take away from the 2K Sports football game that's supposedly supposed to be coming out the earliest 2020 April 2021, which I haven't heard an announcement for. So it's probably going to end up being pushed back to 2022. I'm guessing with COVID-19 taking an effect last year, end up slowing up the production of the game. But that's what I got out of the announcement. Like, why would they decide to do it right now?
Well,
Well,
I'll
Like,
tell you why. Because they just finalized a deal to pay college athletes for um for
Your
using their
likeness.
image in a video game.
mhm.
So it appears they've settled on some type of resolution when it comes to using their likeness in a video game and paying them for their likeness as well. That's been the holdup the past few years, has been that, uh, as people say, you got, number seven of Alabama out there. Everybody knows who he is. It looks kind of like him in the game, but you're actually not paying him in real life, but you're making money off of his likeness. Uh, that's kind of what doomed the NCAA franchise. But now that they're back, like I said, I hope the Madden people don't come anywhere near this game.
Oh, they are. Shout out to
Ah,
Jay Hearn, by the way.
Mm.
what up, Jay Hearn? What's happening, baby?
so,
What's up, Jay Hearn?
well,
No, but
I hope
another
not.
thing I like. One thing I used to like too is I used to do I used to make my own university, Miami Tech Bulls, and I put them
Yeah,
in
man.
Okay.
and
This game,
I you know
this game has so many. That's what made it so different. That's what's missing in the Madden games now is the fact of the customization, the creativity. Uh, which is games like in like MLB The Show, they still have certain features in the game that allows you to kind of represent your own thing. It's like Madden is almost afraid to be different now. They just kind of want to
Hmm.
just
hmm
get by.
oh
But
shit
Yeah.
wasn't NCAA more of like the prototype to Madden though?
Right? They were supposed to. So NCAA was being used as
They
the
experimented with
leveler,
the
like the
NCAA.
experiment. Okay,
Yeah.
they would basically take the Madden engine and then add in all the programs, like the university programs, the jerseys, and playbooks, and all that stuff, and then they would release the game. And you know, when you compare it to an NFL product, it's not going to outsell, especially during that time. College football wasn't outselling professional football. But if you think about the way time has changed with so much, you know, friction that the NFL has been getting, the bad press the NFL has been getting, a lot of people don't watch the NFL anymore. I've always been, in my personal opinion, I've always preferred, me personally, I've always preferred college sports over professional athlete sports because they're playing for something, really. They're not getting paid for it. They're just going out there, you know, playing for the team, playing for the program, stuff like that. So that's why I always personally prefer college sports over professional sports. But, you know, when it comes down to bottom line, you know, you still want to have that. You still want to have that that Sunday feel. Like when you wake up in the morning, you kind of want to just kind of, you know, for me, the whole deal with Madden was back in the days, I would just play franchise mode for hours at a time, man. Like I didn't care to play against my friends because I knew I would beat them. And online was just too glitchy and it's too many exploits. You didn't really care about that because everybody did the same exact thing. And now everything is on YouTube. So all they're gonna do is go get the one money player, two money players that work over and over and over. Even when you have a good football IQ, you can't do nothing about it. So I always prefer to play it offline to myself, like that general manager mode that we do, Devore together, where we just take the team and we simulate the seasons and try to win Super Bowls. That's awesome. I love doing stuff like that.
I'm doing that with FIFA right now.
Yeah, even with you with FIFA, it's the same thing. You just, you know, that's what makes it different.